Good morning. All right, I'm talking about this weird trick that I use to help get maybe better sleep, bigger and better sleep. Um, and it's super simple and it's kind of strange and weird. And it was my husband's idea. So thanks, babe. I've been using this trick for a while now, like probably over a year or so, and it is amazing. So let me take you back to the way things used to be. Um, and I'm going through this because this might be you as well. Of like, I never really had too much of a problem falling asleep, but it's that like I would always wake up, always cancel clear, always wake up like 20 minutes before my alarm would go off. Any of you out there? And I would hate it because I would look at the clock and I'd be like, oh, it's not enough time to actually like fall back asleep. And it's little still too early to actually wake up, especially when you're getting up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, like I am, right? You're like, oh, I can't get up that early. Some of you might be like, that's how I feel about 5 o'clock. I can't get up that early. Anywho, I would wake up and it would be like 20 minutes. And I'm like, oh, that's not enough time to fall back asleep. And it's not enough time for me, or it's too much time before I actually get up. And so I would just kind of lay there and lay there. And then it'd be like right when I'd start feeling drowsy again is when my alarm would actually go off. All right. So let me know in the comments if this is you, because if that's you, this trick is going to be amazing. So, that's kind of where I was at, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. So it's like that brief moment, not necessarily falling asleep, but it's that moment of like when you wake up too early and then your mind starts wandering and you can't go back to sleep because it's not enough, too much time and not enough time at the same time, right? You're kind of right in that paradoxical sleep time warp. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up now. Anywho, so of course I have like my nightly routines and my regimens and my products and all the things, but this trick is actually super simple. Um, and it's actually what you don't need rather than what you need. Okay? And that is to have a clock in your room, right? That displays the time. Okay, so the trick is to not look at the clock. Don't look at the clock. So when you wake up, it's kind of two steps that I do. I don't look at the clock and I just assume that I have like hours left to sleep because I didn't look at the clock. I'm telling you, it is such a game changer, right? Because when you don't look at the clock, you don't know if it's really only 20 minutes before you have to get up, or if it's an hour, or if it's 2 hours, right? And I just tell my brain that I have plenty of time, right? I don't look at the clock. This was my husband's idea when I used to be like, oh, I woke up at, 4 o'clock or 4:20 or whatever time. And he was like, and I was like, and then I just lay there and then I get tired right before I have to get up. And he's like, well, just stop looking at the clock. Right. And that seems like, oh, that's kind of obvious, but how many of us like depend, like we wake up and we check our phone, or we have an alarm clock sitting right next to our bed that says the time, right? So that's a trick. Don't look at the clock and just assume you always like, I'm like, oh, yes, I still have like 3 more hours of sleep. Okay. And I know what some of you are already thinking, because this was me too, of like, but what if I sleep through my alarm and then I'm late because I didn't look at the clock? And I'm just going to address that now real quick. First of all, for me, that only happens maybe once or twice a year, that like my phone will die or something will happen and my alarm doesn't go off, or I sleep through it or anything like that. The second thing is usually what happens is our body and our biological systems kick in, and you get that little, even though you're like, oh, I got 3 hours, your body goes, wait, 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 wait. It's actually time for you to get up or you're late. And in which case, usually I tend to listen to the nudges, and then I'm like, okay, I feel like, yes, I'm late. Maybe I'll check the time. Okay. And honestly, for me, when that has happened, it's been like maybe 15 minutes late, like not a lot, because I think just not looking at the time also allows your body to just kind of like get into its flow, and you just kind of trust your intuition. Right. So I'm not saying that's never going to happen, but for me, it doesn't happen very often. Like for the amount of sleep, like if I compare them, like the amount of sleep lost because I woke up, 20 minutes before my alarm went off versus like being late because I didn't look at the clock, like the benefits for me far outweigh the, like, I happen to not look at the clock. And I will say though that I wake up like way earlier than I probably need to. So like if I do sleep in and my body's like, "Hey, you're super late." I'm usually not super late because I have my morning routine and things like that that I like live by. So I wake up extra early so that I can do those things. So I will say that. Like if you're the type of person you're like, I wake up to my alarm and I get my car and I drive, all right, then like I could see where you're a little bit more hesitant. And also though, like it just allows us to tap into our natural like instincts, I feel like more, right? Because your body usually, even if you have an alarm clock and you sleep through it, your body lets you know that you're late, right? It usually wakes you up and it's like, hey, you didn't wake up to your alarm clock. What's going on? Let's go, let's go. So that's my trick for you guys today is to, in order to get better sleep, and it's that 15 minutes before you actually have to wake up, just don't look at the clock at all. Like I go to sleep and I don't look at it. Sometimes I get mad because I wake up and I have to go check on the girls or go do something in the kitchen and I accidentally walk by the clock and I'm like, oh, I looked at the time. I wasn't supposed to do that. Anywho, all right, I'm going to let you guys go. Let me know if you try it out. Let me know in the comments how it works or whatever, or you can come hang with me in my community and let me know there. Just like try it out for like a week or two and let me know. I feel like it's going to be a complete game changer, or at least it was for me. Okay, you guys have the best day.